I represent Doguwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Kano State. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, as it is reflected on our order paper today, Mr. Speaker, we are once again on this floor to make another history. History in the sense that, Mr. Speaker, we have one of us who has been in the service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in various capacities. We have one of us, Mr. Speaker, who had been so committed into the historical development of the legislature in Nigeria as a polity. Mr. Speaker, we have one of us who we can rightly call a pillar, not only to this house where he serves as clerk, but also to the National Assembly as an institution. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Giwa, Patrick Giwa, a gentleman, a quintessential gentleman, Mr. Speaker, a man of commitment, a man of absolute responsibility in terms of dedication to his duty, is today marking his last day as a civil servant. And let me start by thanking you, Mr. Speaker, and this honorable House for allowing us to spare some minutes of moments to share with the outside world, to share with the people of Nigeria who Mr. Giwa is and who Mr. Giwa was in the course of his service as a staff of the National Assembly. Mr. Giwa, having risen to this position as the Clerk House of Representatives, is by no means an expression and manifestation of the fact that he is a dedicated staff of the National Assembly. He had started long ago, giving his best while as a young officer, giving his best at a middle-level position as an officer, and he had also given his best in his capacity as the Clerk of the House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, today, I want to join my friends, my colleagues, and join his family that Mr. Giwa is today rounding up his public service and in flying colors. He is doing that in flying colors because we do not have any bad or negative record to Mr. Giwa right from day one to this very day that we are celebrating him. The Clerk of the National Assembly, the CNA, who is there seated rightly, his presence and being part of the chamber today to celebrate Mr. Giwa is also a further conviction, is a further confirmation of what I have said. That for those of us who occupy political positions here as members elected from our various constituencies, and by extension representing the population of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we have good things to say about Giwa, and your presence there, Mr. Clerk, is an attestation and confirmation of the fact that, yes, the bureaucracy of the National Assembly, to which you are the head, has a very, very good high-rated marking for Mr. Patrick Giwa. I believe, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is a platform that will allow every other member to speak, but unfortunately, with the exigencies of tight schedules of Mr. Speaker and the business of the House, we may not have enough time to speak all the goodies of Mr. Giwa. But I want to say, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable members, that we will be missing Giwa. We will miss Giwa. We will miss Giwa. I repeat, we will miss Giwa 3 times. I am saying so because, not only because of his intellectual capacity and contributions as a clerk of the House of Representatives, I want to say, without any fear of contradiction, and the CNS is there, that if not for anything, I had been on the floor of this House as far back as 1992. Until date, Mr. Speaker, I want anyone to bet me that we have never had a patient, consistent, coordinated clerk of the House of Representatives as Mr. Patrick Giwa. If I must repeat, Mr. Speaker, for patience, a staff, a civil servant, with the kind of patience that Giwa deals with people here, is something that I believe is just cannot be matched by any other person. It's something that is unprecedented. And I hope Giwa will continue in that manner. Giwa, in my language, Mr. Speaker, it means elephant. If you allow me, Mr. Speaker, by your leave, I will tell this gathering that Mr. Giwa is an elephant of the House of Representatives. He has done a lot for us. And look at his structure, very high. He's also an Iroko to this place. So, Mr. Giwa, you are winding up. You may be going back home with a lot of reflections, but go back home, sleep well. Your records on the annals of the history of House of Representatives here are superb. excellent and charitable. To the family, let me also once again, I remember the last time when I joined you guys on behalf of the Speaker in the wedding ceremony, wedding session of the first son of the family, I think, if I'm not wrong. I met all of you there. Very decent family. My only problem with Giwa is that he's married to only one wife. So Giwa, now that you are going in retirement, I will invite you for retraining. I will invite you for further engagement to see if you can contemplate having just a second more wife to help the other one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish Giwa happy life. I wish Giwa happy retirement. And I want to also urge you, Mr. Speaker, as we have 3 more years to continue in these green chambers, perhaps beyond 3 more years after this session, we must continue to tap on the experience and intelligence of Patrick Giwa, because he looks to me as someone who is unfortunately retiring, but he's not tired. Giwa will come calling, maybe through the clerk, maybe through the speaker, maybe through your only strong wife. If you start to be naughty, we'll come through her. That ask Giwa to come back to the chamber. Even around the chamber, we still need your good job. We need your contributions, and we'll come calling to get you on board in one way or the other. I thank Patrick Giwa, I thank your family, and I thank you for whatever you have done to the Federal Republic of Nigeria in your services to this democratic institution of the National Assembly, and in specific, the House of Representatives. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria, and God bless your family.